Hey there! Welcome to Jackie Talks Horror. I'm Jackie, and today I'm diving into a spoiler-free review of The Ugly Stepsister, a film that has featured on my channel before, but it left me thinking about it so much that I had to take a closer look. It even made my list of 5 favourite films of 2025. Just a quick heads up, I'll be using images and trailers from the film in this video, and there'll be links to any trailers in the description down below. This is a reimagining that genuinely surprised me the first time I saw it, and it stuck with me long after. So if you're wondering whether it's worth your time, let's talk about it. The Ugly Stepsister put its emotional weight squarely on the cast, so let's dive into who they are and what they bring to the story. Our main characters are Elvira, also called Ugly Stepsister, played by Leah Merrin. Elvira is completely obsessed with marrying the prince from a genuine angle. It's obvious she loves the idea of him, and probably has since way before our story starts. Merrin really stands out here. She really commits herself fully to every brutal scene Elvira endures, never pulling back from the physical or emotional discomfort. She plays her in such a way that I actually found myself as sorry for her as I did for Cinderella, which I wasn't expecting. Next up is Rebecca, played by Anne Deltorp. Rebecca is a pushy mother, just as determined as Elvira to secure the prince, but for far more selfish reasons. She is utterly hell-bent on ambition, regardless of the physical and mental toll it takes on her daughter. Taupe is really convincing. Her facial expressions tell half the story. She really does well, showing how hungry for money and status she is. Yet, she also delivers some of the film's funniest and most heart-wrenching moments. Next up is Agnes, our Cinderella, played by Thea Sophie Loch Ness. Agnes is our Cinderella character. She is far more spirited than her fairy tale counterpart, which makes her more compelling and likely to catch the eye of the prince. Ness is magnetic in the role. She manages to show every emotion Agnes goes through, and whilst not exactly unpleasant towards Elvira in the beginning, hardens to her as events go on, and always maintains a core of steel. Next up is Alma, Elvira's sister, played by Flo Fagerly. Alma is more of a supporting role, but is a lovely and devoted younger sister and daughter, and is quite frightened of the prospect of womanhood. Fagerly manages to show she is the cool, calm one of the three, and noticeably more sensible than those around her, despite her being the youngest. Because the pressure to win the prince falls so heavily onto Elvira, Alma stays slightly outside that storm, which gives her the space to watch and support rather than compete. And finally, we have our Prince Julian, also called Prince Charming, played by Isaac Kamrath. The film moves away from the adaptations that we know, so it makes sense that Prince Julian is also far removed from the traditional version of our Prince Charming. Kamrath shows a more realistic version of the young, rich, spoilt king's son, and that grounded interpretation fits perfectly with the tone of the rest of the performances. Okay, so let's have a quick look at how the film handles its plot and pacing. The Ugly Stepsister is a Norwegian language twisted and unflinching version of the Cinderella story, told from the point of view of one of Cinderella's stepsisters. For the first half or so, the film leans more into discomfort than outright horror. There's an underlying unease, and you can almost forget you're watching something that will eventually turn much darker. As the pressure for Elvira to transform intensifies, so does the tone. The film shifts from uneasy discomfort into full horror in clear stages, each step pushing further than the last and steadily changing the atmosphere. So that's how the story unfolds. Now let's look at how it all comes together. Directed and written by Norwegian filmmaker Emily Blichfeldt, in her feature-length directorial debut, after previously working mainly on shorts and festival projects. Blichfeldt directs with a clear vision and complete control of tone. The scenery is beautifully crafted with lavish costumes and picturesque settings that create fairy tale elegance, which makes a brutal body horror hit even harder. She makes a deliberate choice not to sanitize the horror. Once the body horror begins, it escalates without holding back. Just when you think it's reached its limit, it pushes further. There's no anesthetic and no mercy. It's visceral, painful, and barbaric. In those sequences, the soundtrack becomes crucial, heightening the discomfort and refusing to let the audience look away. Importantly, the film leans into a detail that was always present in the original Grimm fairy tale, something most modern adaptations quietly erased. By embracing that brutality, instead of softening it, Blichfeld makes a deliberate creative statement about beauty, desperation and social pressure. The film's Oscar nomination for the best makeup and hairstyling is easy to understand. From the disturbing procedures to the opulence of the finishing school and the grandeur of the final ball. The detail in the makeup, prosthetics and physical transformations is exceptional. The nomination recognises the practical effects work itself, not just cosmetic beauty. The body horror is literally part of what this category exists to reward. So let's break it down and see how The Ugly Stepsister stacks up with my ratings. For cinematography and soundtrack, the film gets 5 out of 5. Visually, this film is stunning from start to finish. The daydream sequences and the final ball are particular highlights, elevating an already beautifully crafted production. The bold, era-defining soundtrack is a risk that absolutely pays off, adding an unexpected edge that strengthens the overall impact. For visual effects and gore, the film gets 5 out of 5. The visual effects in this film are absolutely awesome, and the film relies primarily on practical prosthetics and physical effects, with digital work used subtly to enhance, rather than replace them. The body horror was wince-inducing, so top marks for that. For characters, it gets 4.5 out of 5. All the actors give great performances, and the 3 girls and the mum are well cast, but Leah Merrin and Andal Taub are standout. They command most of the scenes they appear in, and carry the emotional weight of the film, making every interaction feel charged and compelling. For enjoyment and rewatch value, the film gets 4.5 out of 5. This is definitely one I'll be revisiting. It has the rewatchability that character-driven films with strong performances tend to have. The overall tale is well known, so there aren't really any major plot twists, but there are enough meaningful changes from other adaptations to keep it feeling fresh. It feels nuanced rather than reliant on shock, which makes it rewarding on repeat viewings. For personal score, this is a 4.5 out of 5-star film. There is a wicked sense of humour that runs throughout. Whether I was laughing or grimacing, it got my attention, then it held on and didn't let go. It's a great combination of really dark humour and horror, with some of the most cringe-inducing scenes I've seen in a while. And I feel it will put a few people off cosmetic surgery for sure. Okay, so that's it for this video. If you like the substance and darker twists on classic fairy tales, The Ugly Stepsister should be right up your street. But if you struggle with graphic body horror, this might be a tough watch. Have you seen it? Did you spend as much time wincing for Elvira as I did? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and remember, this is only my opinion of the film. It'd be a boring old world if we all like the same things. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss what's coming next. This is Jackie signing off. Take care and see you next time.